Hello, everybody, and welcome into Blue Jays Today, folks, where we always have something to say about the Toronto Blue Jays, coming to you from the Sports Interaction Studio. In this one, we have got to talk about that one-game series. Is that what we're referring to?
We got swept.
We got swept in a one-game series against the Chicago Cubs. Probably a series, I guess, if you will, that we should have won, didn't do it. But then when you look back at that final game of Houston, maybe that was one that we should have lost and we did win. So it all kind of evened out. But you can't really have things evening itself out when you have a 4% chance to make playoffs. Everything has got to go your way for the Toronto Blue Jays if they really have any hope of getting anything done. And sadly, yesterday that didn't happen. We're going to talk about that, talk about some of the updates going on around the team, some quotes coming out by former Jays and current Jays, some injury updates as well. And then, of course, take a look at this upcoming series that they got. Tough one, Philadelphia, who has a lot more to play for than we do right now, as they're kind of fighting and keeping themselves in playoffs. But let's start off with one of the craziest stats that has actually ever happened in the history of our franchise. Actually,
let's do that.
This has never happened before.
This has literally never happened before. The Toronto Blue Jays. If you were watching yesterday, you probably thought to yourself, man, we had a lot of chances to score runs in that one, but we just could not come up with a hit. Well, this is probably the most you've ever felt that if you're a fan of this team for your entire life and the entire franchise's existence. Because yesterday, the Blue Jays, I'll zoom in so you can really see this, boom! Yesterday, the Blue Jays go 1-for-19 with runners in scoring position. That is the first time in their franchise history. 1-for-19. The one, by the way, Captain Kirk. Shout out to the King. Legendary performance by him, but it was obviously for naught because the Blue Jays did go on to lose that one. I mean, again, like you said this to me before the show, and this is the way we've been thinking all year. They bring you right back in. They win a few series, right? The pitching looks great. And even when the pitching looks great and you just need a little bit from your offense, you realize they're the worst offense in baseball, and they cannot fucking just get one more hit. If they get one more hit in that situation earlier in the game, they would win the game.
Yeah,
and we wouldn't be talking about
You know what?
this.
It's not like they weren't hitting yesterday. I think they had a 10 or 11 hits.
They had 11 hits?
11 hits they had, right? But just none of them were coming at the right time, and that's kind of been the story of this team up until this point. Like, we get singles. We hit a lot of singles, baby. We just don't hit them when a runner's standing at second base, and we're just incapable of doing that for whatever reason. Also, the fact that we weren't calling a bunt for ourselves in extra innings.
Oh, my God. We got to talk about that.
I mean, like, that's just, I was saying it on stream. I don't understand. Like, somebody, like, please show me the numbers and the analytics behind not bunting, especially when you had Josh Smith leading off the inning in inning number 11. Like, that's just, I kind of understand not wanting to take the bat out of George Springer's hands in the top of the 10th, but in the top of the 11th, when Josh Smith is starting things off, a guy that's got a 500 OPS, to not bunt there, I just can't fathom it. I can't possibly understand it. I mean, if they would have bunted and we would have got that guy, and because then Jesus Sanchez, right, he ended up out. But it was a sharply hit, a ground ball to the shortstop. Tougher play probably would have resulted in a run getting scored there. Who knows what could have happened if we dropped that one? And but I that's just one of those things, like, moving forward, Blue Jays and the Cubs weren't doing it either. No. I don't understand why people aren't bunting more in extras.
This is my biggest complaint with John Schneider, and don't take my words and twist them. I still like John Schneider as a manager, but he really, again, maybe it's my opinion versus his opinion, but he's really got to improve in game call situations like that, and also staying consistent with what you're trying to do, because sometimes we do. Like, sometimes in extras, we'll drop a bunt in that situation with a guy like Josh Smith. But whatever reason, we don't do it today. It's the same situation that goes when we're doing our whole, my guy versus your guy, because he's a better against lefties, so I'm bringing in this guy who's good against lefties. I'm bringing in this guy who's good against righties. But what we just, like, blanket it was just like, lefties, all left-handed pitchers are all better against left-handed batters. Sometimes that's just not the case, and it backfires against them all the time. Anyways, point being, we need to be doing a better job of that, because you could have at least gone to the 12th inning.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Valenzuela threw the ball away after PCA put the pressure on him, stealing third, and then that cost the game, and Josh Smith hit it off his glove. He could have maybe stepped off, caught it, but regardless,
never know
it wasn't
what
good.
would have happened.
We would have
never
never
know
known what
how it
happened. We wouldn't have been to the 12th inning because we didn't bunt him around. But honestly, just a poorly executed game on the offense, and a bit on the manager as well.
Yeah, and crazy that you ended up, kind of burning a really awesome Dylan Cease game and a really awesome Alejandro Kirk game too. I mean, Kirk goes 4 for 5, and he is all the way back, right? For everybody that wasn't really sure, when or if Alejandro Kirk is back, I think we can safely say, like, he is back. He is here right now. He looks the part of a healthy and in rhythm Alejandro Kirk. So that's going to be, honestly, for me, like, we're looking for reasons to watch the remainder of the season. That's going to be one of my reasons. I want to watch Alejandro Kirk prove the haters wrong. I want to watch him have a really good second or, end of the season. And I think that's coming. But Dylan Cease, too, like, he is applying the pressure to Cam Schlittler right now in the AL Cy Young voting race. He had 7 innings yesterday and just had the Cubs on a leash, man.
Yeah.
10 strikeouts. They weren't doing anything. And it...
I know, you just wasted it.
You
you
wasted
talking
it.
about this?
I was about to just bring up, the one time, and it was bound to happen eventually.
Yeah.
It was inevitable. I actually caught myself after the fact when he came out. I'm like, he's 24 for 24. This could be 25 for 25.
You're like,
fuck
did I
me.
just jinx him?
I might have.
No,
but it was bound to happen eventually.
I thought the same thing. Everyone's thinking the same thing about Varland. And again, like that. I mean, Varland's been awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put this loss on Varland when we should have had way more runs.
Should have scored so many.
We
more
should have
times.
scored so many more fucking runs. But that's what it comes down to. And when we talk about the Blue Jays and their chance of trying to, make the postseason this year, you just can't have games like that. And eventually, you're gonna have to break through if you want to beat that less than 5% chance of making playoffs. You need to figure it the F out with runners in scoring position. And I just don't get it, because you should have the advantage with a runner in scoring position. The pitcher is having to pitch to you perfectly, and you can like sit back and know, okay, well, he's got to come to me. I can be extra patient here because he's got to come to me. I can really wait for my pitch to handle because he doesn't want to put me on base. He doesn't want to add more traffic. So he's going to come to me, and I got to go and come up with a clutch hit here, or at least understand my assignment here. And I got to execute. All I need is a base hit the other way. All I need of the guy on third is a deep fly ball to center field. There's a few opportunities with that where we could not get that done, and we just not executing. And honestly, I think it was up until the 7th inning, maybe even the 8th. Maybe I'm forgetting, but like up until the 7th, we had a runner scoring position every single inning.
Well, let's not forget who was on the bump for Chicago. It was Peterson. It's David Peterson, and that guy. I mean, you could like. It didn't take a baseball expert to see the wild difference between Dylan Cease innings and David Peterson innings.
Yeah.
One guy was dotting the corners, and stuff was breaking perfectly, and had these Cubs like staring at strike 3 multiple times. He had them on the back foot. PCA struck out looking twice, and he wasn't the only one. There were a couple other ones, and then you flash over to the David Peterson innings, and there was a couple like pretty good pitches in there, and then just a handful of like God only knows, like just completely wild, uncompetitive stuff, right? And if you're the Jays, you just should have done a lot more with that opportunity. Let's take a look at the playoff odds as they stand today. We're gonna constantly be taking a look at these, basically all for the remainder of the season until it gets to 0. We're gonna keep looking at this. It's a 4.2% chance right now. Obviously, just not like you can see it's been like the last 2 months. It's just been a downward trajectory for the Toronto Blue Jays. They were roughly at 50% about a month and a half ago, and it's just been downhill ever since. I think this is a season low for us, 4.2. I don't think we've been this low after yesterday's loss. And you can see like it's It's not impossible to have the comeback. Like, look at what Boston's doing right now.
Yeah.
They just
Crazy.
won the most electric and exciting game of the whole season, is what people is calling it yesterday. Multiple extra innings, and I think they won it 12-11 or something like that over the White Sox. Just a ridiculously incredible game by Boston. So it's not impossible to have these crazy turnarounds, but you are running out of time.
Yeah, you are. I mean, look at that. Like July 15th to August 6th, that's less than a month. And they've jumped from 40.3 to 90 or 96.2.
Yeah, like almost 60%.
Yeah, and every loss is going to really pile up. I think that's why yesterday's loss, it hurts so much more. It's because, A, you had it right in front of you. B, like, you should have played just even a fraction better and you would have won the game. And C, it's going to hurt your playoff odds. So now they're going to Philly. Well, obviously, we're going to break that down at the end of the video. If your OG's here, we at the end of every live stream, we'll break it down at the end. But that's a series where you're not looking to just, we're going to salvage one on the road against the Phillies.
Oh, we're not allowed to do that anymore. Yeah.
You need to win two, if not sweep.
That's what we were. I remember we were talking about salvaging series when, like, we were talking about that back in April when we were injured. Right, and it was like, okay, well, you just need to weather the storm and like salvage the series. Like, I think there was one against the Braves, and we were going
just
to Atlanta, and it was like, just don't get swept. And I think they did. I think they ended up winning one and then losing two to Atlanta. I remember this one specifically. It was like early on in the season, and we're dealing with injuries, and like we just gotta weather that storm. So then when everyone is healthy, then we're gonna cook. That is no longer at all what's transpiring. Like it's cook or be cooked, and right now they are certainly getting cooked a lot more than they are cooking. 4.2% chance. No room for any more L's. You have to win every series.
Yeah, you do. Hey, shout out to the 200 people that are in here right now. If you haven't done so already, man, hit that like button, smash subscribe button. I mean, I bet a few of you are still hanging on to hope. Now I see a few comments being like, "What are you talking about? Playoffs? Like we're lucky just to win a game." And you're right. I mean, look, Nick and I were the first people to admit back early July. It's like, all right, this thing's over. Right? We're gonna sell, but because we also anticipated that the AL would be elite.
Well,
and,
I thought
someone would break out. Boston obviously did, but we expect another team to do it, and they haven't. So they're keeping us in it.
That's the thing.
Reason.
Like it's still, even after yesterday's loss, the team in the final wildcard spot they didn't play. Like they're still pacing for 80 wins.
Yeah, that's
I was anticipating that somebody eventually would get not even elite, but just better. Right, like they'd force you to win at least like 87 or something like, and then it's like, okay, well now we're kind of chalked, right? If we have to win 87, we're probably screwed, right? I thought that would be kind of the going number here, and that just hasn't happened yet. Obviously, Boston has completely taken over that second wild card spot. Like there's only one wild card spot now up for grabs. The other two they're gone now. They're finished.
Actually, funny enough, Victor says with this offense, does it even matter if we make playoffs? Well, here's the thing. Like my opinion on this is. You already made your decision of what direction you're going to or where you're going with this roster next season. Like you sold off the pieces, you rebuilt a little bit by bringing in Soriano and a couple other guys and some younger prospects like Bateman and Southesine. But like, so you already made that decision. Making playoffs would be like, oh, sweet, a bonus games, And also too, I know the old saying is anything can happen when you get to the playoffs. Like that technically still applies, but I'm really not expecting anything at all. Like if we get swept in a series against what would probably be like Houston or Texas, whoever gets that final AL West spot, and if we get the third spot, they'd be the leaders in the AL West, the worst division, I'm assuming. Then like whatever, man, like whatever. Like we're just happy to be here.
That's like the expectations have changed for majority of the season. My expectations and my hope was. You go and you win the World Series because when you get to 2 outs away and when you have the payroll that the Toronto Blue Jays have and the roster that they have, the expectation like that's what it is. It's we got to get this job done.
Yeah, bare minimum go to like the ALCS.
That's like, exactly like that's like bare like it's like oh okay like. We still need to get over this hump, but like we're still good. Like we're still here and we're still one of the elites. But yeah, for me it was like let's go and let's do this thing. You have everything in line for you to do it. You are spending the money. Your top I think it's top 4 or top 3.
I thought it was top 5. I think some payrolls have changed since the deadline. Like now we're top.
Oh,
top 5.
Now it's changed. Now
changed,
okay,
yeah.
but walking
before,
into the season, we were like, I think we were third or something like that. So again, like when you spend that much money, you need to see a good product on the field. You should be trying to win your division and if, making it very deep in the playoffs. That has obviously dramatically changed. Now I'm looking at this as, can we get any momentum for next year? Like I know, like, we're not winning the World Series this year. We're not. It's not going to happen.
This team versus the Dodgers now. Oof.
No, we are. I know that wholeheartedly, and I can actually rule that out. We are not going to win the World Series this year. That's not going to happen.
No.
But we could potentially make playoffs or get close to making playoffs, and then at least you can convince yourself, tell yourself in the offseason, that's what it should feel like. That month of September,
correct.
That's what it should feel like. That's what I'm supposed to do. Vladdy, for instance, that's how I'm supposed to swing the bat. This is how I'm supposed to think when a runner's at second. Get all those thoughts together and get yourself in a spot where we're not coming in as the fucking bottom feeder of the American League East in the next year. No, it's like we have something. You had a good couple last holes of the golf round, and you're like, okay, if I can start the round like that, that should be, I should have a much better round. So that's where the expectations are now. Can they honestly just finish this season with some type of momentum and gusto so that in all off season we're not looking at this team as a what are you?
Yeah. And that's what we're looking at it right now as. Now, a few guys that need to be good in order for this team to look a lot better and not have ourselves question what the fuck are you is some of these pitchers. But unfortunately, just like the podcast titled, we received some bad news, and specifically with Trey Yesavage, and additionally with Spencer Arrighetti. And that's what we're going to start with right here. Spencer Arrighetti. We received some bad news from AAA Buffalo. In his start, he leaves during his start. This article right here, I thought it was a pretty fun one. Blue Jays get disastrous Arrighetti news. And now, maybe disastrous is a little bit bold. We don't really know what the hell is going on right now with him, because what happened was he was pitching. I zoomed all the way in. He was pitching in Buffalo the other night, and he was in the 3rd inning when all of a sudden, I can't play the full video because of copyright reasons, he just threw a warm-up pitch. Or wasn't even a warm-up pitch. Yeah, it was during an at-bat right there. He threw a pitch and then didn't really see anything with the naked eye, and then he waved over the trainer and he left the game immediately. That sucks, because when we're thinking about Mr. Trey Yesavage, this was supposed to be the replacement for him. We'll get into that in a little bit, but that's obviously not great news. You kind of need him to, if you want to go on a run, stabilize the rotation a little bit, because we have a lot of question marks with Shane Bieber and Max Scherzer and company.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not good.
At the end of the day, I'm just hopeful that it's not a serious thing. I don't think it looked that serious. I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Maybe he's being cautious, right?
I'm kind of just hopeful that he's being a little cautious here. But at the end of the day, it's we need Spencer Arrighetti more for next year than we need him for this year. Right. It's enough, yes, it would have been awesome to have him here and save the day for us. But I never really thought that was going to happen anyways, because he's a project, and you're not going to fix your project you just overnight like that. Pete Walker's not going to get him and be like, okay, just throw this pitch and that's going to immediately happen. I know that Houston is really smart and good with their pitchers, and if this was an overnight fix, then they would have overnight fixed him. But they watched their guy win Pitcher of the Month earlier this year and still felt confident enough in a year where they're going to go to the playoffs likely to trade him away. Meaning that they're thinking this is not going to be a fix-it-this-year thing. This is, if you're getting anything, it's going to be in a couple more seasons. Or they know something about his health that we don't know.
Right. And that's what I was going to bring up, is because you've kind of brought this up to me off camera, maybe on camera as well. We got Arrighetti for, a pretty good deal. We got him for 2 months of Dalton Varsho, where we didn't need Varsho at all. And then we got 3 more years of Arrighetti. He got hurt this year. He's had injury history in the past, too, and he's had moments where it's he's great, he's bad, he's great, he's bad. Maybe there's a bit of that. I'm just speculating right now. Maybe there's a bit of that where the Houston Astros know, we've dealt with this guy enough now through the injuries. We're it feels like it's going to happen again, and we don't want to keep this guy around and hold up a spot on our roster.
I just think it's irresponsible for us to think that this year we're going to get any semblance of that pitcher of the month type of individual again. If you're going to unlock that, then it's going to take time, because if it wasn't going to take time, then they never would have traded him. And I know that people are thinking, oh, like we fleeced them, and I still think we did, because, well, like we got a guy that's under control for years compared to a guy that's under control for 2 months. And so that alone to me feels like a fleece job.
For sure.
But yeah, he was playing like ass prior to being injured, then got injured, expecting him to come up here and just immediately start playing good after getting injured, and now he's injured again, more injured. Yeah, Arrighetti is a future. Like, I'm hopeful for 2027.
Well, with that being said, like, you know, you got Yesavage now that's also injured, and now the rotation. I mean, look, I know that we're out of this, but if you want to get a chance to go and get back to the postseason, like, we know what this is. We know that the offense isn't going to be great. You kind of need pitchers. So, in that pipe dream, he would have been nice, but you're right. He's just too fucking injured and playing not good right now.
Yeah, we're going to need to have other contributions from other guys. Like, again, if they're going to hit on this 4.2% chance, Cease is going to have to be incredible. Soriano's going to have to be incredible. You're probably going to have Max Scherzer turn back the clock a little bit. Taillon can't be doing what Taillon was doing on his first. Did you know that they're paying like 95% of the remainder of Taillon's money? The Cubs are
for the rest of this year.
Yeah. So he had
when you waiver pickup,
$5.4 million is what he's owed. The Cubs are paying 4.9 of the 5.4.
Wow, so they actually ate it.
Yeah, they ate like literally 95% of the contract. They ate that shit up. So we're basically pitching Taillon for free.
Yeah.
That needs to be a really nice free pitcher. So all of the pitchers are gonna have to do it. And you just gotta hope that. And then also too, the offense can't be 30th.
No, yeah,
offense just can't possibly. None of this matters if offense is 30th. We went 1 for 19 yesterday with runners in scoring position.
I know. Sidebar. You brought up Taillon. The more I think about it, because that trade for Taillon and the trade for Gausman happened on the same day, I wonder if there was a little bit of agreement, like behind the scenes, like, hey, you eat all the money of Taillon, and we'll give you Gausman, and you can give us less of prospects or something like that. Because that would kind of be, you know what I mean? Like that would make sense. Because if they're eating all the contract of Taillon, and we just need a pitcher, like, okay, that's sweet. We can save like how many million the dollars that is, and then we'll send you Gausman. But you send us these prospects. That's why we weren't too happy with the trade. Obviously, the market was determining it as well, but that could be also a factor in there because it happened the same day.
Yeah, I'd wonder then why that wasn't just one deal.
Because
separate deals.
He was DFA'd. So like,
but you could still get traded. Like we still traded for him, so that would not.
I don't think. I don't know. Actually, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Right? I don't know.
Like,
just food for thought.
Well, I wouldn't be shocked if they were like all of this came up in conversation.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about trading Gausman, and in those talks, it's about getting guys back, and then Taillon's name comes up, and one thing leads to another, and we make that trade happen. But then we're also still talking about Gausman, and so I wouldn't be. I'm sure that it was all kind of playing together. Either way, though, he's gonna have to be awesome if we want to have any hope right here.
I don't have much faith that Taillon's gonna be awesome, but this guy right here could have been awesome, and it would have been awesome to see him through the rest of the season, but unfortunately the way things are looking, he might be done for the rest of the season. Trey Yesavage, folks, we got a bad update on him. According to Arden Zwelling right here, an MRI of Trey Yesavage's left knee revealed what the Blue Jays are describing as a meniscus injury. He's going to see a specialist in Texas on Monday to further evaluation and to determine the next steps. Now, I'm no doctor, but when I hear go see a specialist, I immediately think that means surgery. And if that means surgery for Trey Yesavage, if the Blue Jays learn their lesson from this year, and this year means nothing, you go get that surgery if it's required immediately. I know they want to avoid it, but you got to go get that surgery immediately because I don't want another Anthony Santander situation on our hands where now we're missing next year as well.
Yeah, the Santander situation leaves a bad taste in my mouth for sure, especially where any of this is concerned. See a specialist. see another specialist, see a specialist after that specialist, and if all three of those specialists are telling you kind of the same thing and surgery is looking like a decent possibility, then get it done yesterday type of situation. Now, if you can avoid it, avoid it. But if there is a 50% chance of avoiding it and this would all be solved if you got the surgery, I mean, that stuff, like, that's when it gets it very gray and it's not as black and white, because we look at it, you know, or our fans like to look at this as if it's very black and white, and it's like, well, of course, just get the surgery. But the surgery means that he's probably going to be out for multiple months of time, and that means no off season. And then it's, you know, health stuff isn't as black and white, because, well, he could potentially, with some good rehab and with some good, you know, physiotherapy, maybe he could make it through this stuff. But I think that they do need to turn this decision as black and white as possible, because if there really is any hope for this rotation in 2027, Trey Yesavage is going to have to be a part of that. You just brought in Soriano, and I was starting to get high on this rotation, and I'm like, all right, Cease, Soriano, Yesavage, that's feeling a lot better. If Yesavage isn't in that, we're basically in the same spot that we were pre-trade deadline.
Right.
Do what you can to figure this out as soon as possible. And then, sadly, turn it into a black and white situation. And if you have to get that injury, or if you have to get that surgery, then, like, let's do it tomorrow.
Well, you got Mass Monster here talking about the meniscus injury, knows more about it than we do, saying meniscus surgery isn't a good thing. They just slice out the meniscus tissue, which puts more pressure on the knee. So he's basically saying it could be a long-term situation, and that bugs him.
Exactly, and that is why this stuff isn't as black and white, because like, it's not like you just get a surgery and it's like you're 100% now. Like, no, like you're probably going to be feeling that shit like maybe for the rest of your life. Right. So it's such a tough one to navigate, and now I've thought more about that Santander situation. The timing of it was terrible. Like, the timing was just terrible, but I get why they tried everything they could to not have the surgery. Yeah. I do think, though, just as fans, we obviously want to avoid Trey Yesavage. Like, the worst case scenario is Trey Yesavage gets surgery in February. Right.
And then we miss him the whole year.
That's not what you want to have happen. So, it does mean, like, they will have to make decisions sooner rather than later.
And honestly, you know what? Again, I'm ignorant to it because I don't really know what the surgery implies. But if what you're saying is true, Mass, in the chat, if it's a long-term thing that could hurt him, maybe that's why they want to avoid a surgery. And if you know what? If that's the case, you want to avoid a surgery as best as possible, then you need to take the proper actions now, shut him down if that's what it requires, and get him fixed and rehab him back to health, because you're going to need him, like you said, for next season.
We got a donation in here from Cypher, a $5 donation. Ross is going to buy 10 starting pitchers for 2027-2028 just to have all but one starting pitcher be healthy. The bullpen will be reduced to calling up Walmart Loblaws Jr., relief pitcher in Dunedin. Wow, we are so deep in the tank. My God. It does kind of feel like that, though. I mean, maybe not for the bullpen. I do genuinely like our bullpen to an extent this year, but it is ludicrous to see where the rotation got to. I mean, we're now at a place, seriously, where the only two left standing is Dylan Cease and Max Scherzer with 1 foot into the retirement home.
And Bieber, who's lost 4 miles per hour.
I forgot about Bieber. Yeah, Bieber, who's lost a ton of miles per hour. Like, that's what we're left with. That's it's literally like you see the Avengers, and then they go through the fucking battle, and they're all frigged up, and there's only a couple of them left standing. Like, it's ludicrous that we got to this place.
You know what's funny is so I'm playing Out of the Park Baseball 27. If you don't know what that is, it's a 1-to-1 simulation of baseball, and it's like spreadsheets and shit. But basically, I picked the Blue Jays as my team, and I started off this year in 2026, and obviously I already had all the injuries with the Blue Jays, like they had, like it loaded in exactly what it was. And now I'm about June, I ran into the situation I thought we were going to have, where it's like we actually have too many pitchers. And what do you know? The team's popping off. We started off bad because we didn't have the pitchers. Now the team's popping off. I got fucking Bieber and Scherzer in the pen. I had to cut and just outright eat Jose Barrios' money. Like, that was the best situation that could happen. And they start off bad. Now they're popping off. I've called up all the guys from the AAA team that were good, like Shrek and Pinango, and they're popping off. David Snyder in his version also is popping off, by the way. So it could have went a lot better than what it did currently.
When this season started, there was a lot of algorithms and a lot of simulations that said this team would be a hell of a lot better than the currently last place American League East team that we're watching right now. So, yeah, there could have been a lot of things that went differently. Let's transition and talk a little bit about Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and what on God's green earth is going on with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Spoiler, we have no idea. Now, I'm going to have a video coming out tomorrow really diving deep into just everything, all the conversations about Vladdy, but we did want to talk just a little bit about this one. Keegan Matheson came out, and this was a few days ago. He said, or John Schneider said, that Vladdy is just tight and tired, and it's nothing major. He looked uncomfortable after running out a ground ball in the 8th. They'll see how he feels tomorrow. Now, he's been held out of the lineup the last 2 games. Keegan Matheson then went on to say, this was a day later. John Schneider says he'll continue to talk to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. about how he's feeling, calling it a delicate one, given Guerrero's importance to the Blue Jays. Then John Schneider says, this is a big boy league. If you're feeling good enough to go and you can help us, I want you to do that. So this is a big boy league. If you're healthy, I want you in there to help us. But then the following day, he came out and said, there is no injury to Vladdy. That's a real thing. There is no injury, period. He followed that up by saying he's got some slight hamstring tightness, but there is no injury.
Nothing major, yeah.
24 hours after saying this is a big boy league. If you're healthy, I want you in there. So I don't know where we're at right now with, like, is he hurt or not hurt? And I'm starting to think that maybe he's not hurt. There is no injury, as John Schneider says, and they're just kind of using this as a little bit of an excuse to give him some off days without outright saying that we're benching Vladdy.
Yeah, I think yes and no. Like, obviously, there's something physically bugging him. It's been happening for the last 2 months. Like, we've been seeing that with the hamstring, with the back. He's probably banged up at this point, and when you're taking 300 extra swings a day than you normally do in a regular season to go get right, I would imagine you're probably pretty banged up. Now, I think you're also right in believing that there's something else going on here where we want to give him some off days to get mentally right, because it's been a tough fucking year. And let's be honest, he's playing like ass right now. And we're at a point in the season where you kind of need to play some better players right now in your lineup. Now, do we have better players than Vladdy? I don't know, that are on the bench right now. But I think you're on to something where it's probably a little bit more because he is contradicting himself. And usually when someone contradicts himself, there's something that he's not telling us or that they're not telling us.
Well,
so.
and like to me, I just keep going back to the there is no injury quote. Like that's what he said. That's what John Schneider, the coach of the Toronto Blue Jays, said. There is no injury.
Yeah, nothing major. He said nothing.
No.
Major.
He said another quote. He said on Shai Davidi, he said there is no injury. Right. Period.
But then he also says there's nothing major, so he's contradicting himself here. So like something's going on. You know what I mean? And again, sure, is it like an injury? Like, oh, I got like inflammation here or whatever. I don't think it's like anything like that. I think he's just banged up. I believe he's just banged up. But
that's no different than like anyone else. Like anybody that's played the seat, like anybody that's played all of the games that Vladdy's played, which has been a lot of the Jays, like Ernie Clement's done it. Honestly, a lot of the guys have done it. Like all of them, it's like, yeah, we're like, of course you're gonna be feeling a bit tight, but he's not actually injured.
Yeah,
and that's the difference, right? We've held him out of the lineup now for 2 games in a row, and there is no injury. He's just tight, which everybody is, because you play every day. Everyone's feeling that.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking this is literally just like if he was playing better, he would be in the lineup yesterday.
For sure. Exactly. And that's where I agree with you, where like I think there's it's banged up like everybody else, and he can't figure it out. He's taking all these swings, he can't figure it out, and whatever he's doing right now is just not helping him. So now they're resorting to what we suggested like 2 months ago, which is like get him some off days.
Yeah.
Or go on a quick 10-day IL or something
That's
like
the thing.
that.
And they're not willing.
They're not going to do that.
They're not willing to do 10 days of this. We're just going to do a couple days of this.
Exactly.
Right. We don't want to have him out for 2 full weeks because we think that's going to totally derail the season. Plus, there is no injury. So, technically that would be against the rules. You could phantom IL it, but technically that'd be against the rules if there is actually no injury.
He says there's no injury, and then all of a sudden IL injured. Yeah, so
right.
He's on phantom IL.
So it's like we're basically doing the least amount of a phantom IL that you could do right now, and we don't want to call it benching Vlad because then that's going to lead to some crazy headlines, and then people are going to run with that. But they're benching Vlad. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. I believe it. We got a number one Vladdy hater in here. What a timely comment with the $2 donut saying, "What's up, fellas? We talking crap about Vladdy." W. Well, not talking crap about Vladdy. Just trying to understand the situation which is happening in front of us. Vladdy has been benched.
Yeah, this actually has nothing to do with Vladdy at all. This is just more about trying to dissect what is going on with his whole situation right now, and how they're managing it and how they're going about doing it.
I mean, imagine John Schneider coming out and saying, we're benching Vladdy because of his poor performance. You're not. John wouldn't do that.
They don't want to do that. They don't want to do that, and so this is the solution to that. Is that we're going to do some, kind of word vomity gymnastics, and we're still going to leave him on the bench, right? And but I think it is more of a mental thing right now to get him right somehow than have him continuously go out there and he's looking more frustrated, where he's slamming his shit around in the dugout, doesn't look like he's having a good time at all. This is that solution. And we're not willing to do the 10-day IL. I get it. You don't want to completely derail the season and pack it in. But this is the next best thing.
There you go, guys. Vladdy, we think here, has been benched. Unofficially has been benched. Now, we have another thing we talk about, which is Kevin Gausman's comment. Now, it's a few days old at this point. Literally 2 days ago, he made these comments. Actually, where was it here? Oops, my whole thing is messing up. It was 2 days ago where Kevin Gausman, came to the clubhouse in Chicago and was a media frenzy. Obviously, everyone's trying to talk to Kevin Gausman and get his opinions on the trade and the city and Chicago. And, just like any team would do, honestly, when we trade for players, all of our media goes, how do you like Toronto? What's it like playing for Canada? Blah, blah, blah. It's all the same shit, right? And so Kevin Gausman got into a media frenzy and he was asked the difference between Chicago and Toronto. And he said, "It's the first time my wife's kid's been here, and after the first day, she said, it's so different than Toronto." I was like, yeah, the focus is baseball. It's real grass. It's outside. Now, Blue Jay fans heard that, and some people got offended and thought, what the hell is Kevin Gausman saying? He's throwing us under the bus. He doesn't think we're as good as Chicago. I think it's blown out of proportion. What are your thoughts about those comments right there? Because I think it's being way blown out of proportion.
Yeah, obviously when you hear that, your immediate reaction is like, well, obviously he's insinuating that the focus here isn't baseball, and that means less about us. I think there's a couple things going on right here. One, he plays in Wrigley Field. He is now a Chicago Cub playing in Wrigley Field. Wrigley Field is just a baseball diamond. That's all it is. They have real grass there. Just a baseball diamond. We do not have real grass here because when the Toronto Blue Jays are not in town,
it's
Ariana Grande is going to play there, and then the Toronto Blue Jays have to play in that same space 48 hours after Ariana Grande played there. So I mean that's just the truth, right? So they got real grass, they got stuff there, and that stadium, which is what he was I think referring to, is simply just about baseball. The second thing too is this is a guy, Kevin Gausman, who very chill dude, and you can tell that he's been going through some emotional transitionary stuff during this whole trade process, right? And he's been relatively outspoken about that. He gets to Chicago. He's fresh in Chicago in his new uniform, and he's got about 10 million cameras shoved directly into his face, asking him a flurry of questions that really don't have anything to do with his on-the-field performance. And sometimes you just fucking say shit. and you know what? And maybe it didn't come out exactly 100% how you meant to say it in the moment, because you got all these cameras at you at one time, and this is really not what you do. And I'm here to throw a baseball, and now they're asking me about how my wife likes the city of Chicago, and we've been here for 48 hours.
Yeah, literally, yeah. No, exactly. Like, this is, guys, if you are a true Toronto Blue Jay fan, and you've watched Kevin Gausman your entire time here, or the entire time that he's been here, if you watch Kevin Gausman the entire time that he's been in Toronto, you'll know he fucking loves Canada. He loves the city of Toronto. He wanted to stay here. He made that evidently clear before getting traded. So to all of a sudden throw that out the window and think, no, he hates Toronto. He thinks we're lesser than Chicago. I mean, God, come on, guys. Like, Kevin Gausman wouldn't do that. That's ridiculous. So, yeah,
no.
That's my thoughts on that. And then this also came out, which was funny.
Very quickly, just shout out here to King Louie with a $199 donation saying, Hall of Fame game was crazy, Adam. Lost twice, both walk-offs. Lost twice, both walk-offs.
Oh, you're talking about the Blue Jays and the Cardinals.
Oh, shit. Yeah,
I mean,
guess
look,
so.
That win-loss doesn't matter, but Carson Beck is what really matters. I'll say this, you know, I'm gonna keep a level head here. I think Carson Beck, if you saw your quarterback do what Carson Beck did the other day, your starting quarterback, you're paying $40 million a year, and you saw him do that, you'd go, okay, he's looking good. He's looking like he's ready for the season. Just saying. No hate for Carson Beck. Anyways, moving on. Thank you for the dono, King Louie.
King Louie. Appreciate you, man.
Kevin Gausman's daughter also came out here. And apparently this was a stab to Kevin Gausman's heart. So Kevin Gausman's in the dugout doing a live interview during the game. And basically Kevin Gausman's daughter said that, yeah, like, she likes the Cubs because the Cubs actually can beat the Dodgers. Now, this is literally when I believe they swept them when they were in Chicago. So, I mean, as a 5-year-old's perspective, like, you're literally calling out the truth, and I don't think there's any lies to it.
No, I know. Some people on Twitter were upset about this one, too.
She's a 5-year-old.
And well, here's the thing. They were upset not at the daughter, but at Kevin Gausman for relaying this. They're like, why would you tell the media that? Fuck off,
whatever, man.
Like,
he also added on that it was a stab to my heart.
Yeah,
because he still feels for what happened.
Dude,
with us.
Like, anybody that's getting pissed off about this is people that can't accept the truth, which is the fact that we get our shit rocked by the LA Dodgers. And I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but that's the truth. Correct. And if you're getting upset about this, then really, I think you're just trying to project and put up blockades that, you know, that you convincing yourself that it's not real and whatever.
Ground yourself, bro.
Yeah, it's the LA Dodgers are better than we are. I can say that, and it doesn't hurt me. It just is the way that it is.
Guys,
whereas,
look at this.
Yeah,
like we have 4.2% chance to make playoff.
The Chicago Cubs. They don't need to say that right now because they did just sweep them, and they are having a really good season. And maybe they can be the team that actually knocks off the LA Dodgers, right? Maybe his daughter's on to something.
And you know what? I freaking hope so because Gausman's there.
I'll be rooting for Kevin Gausman in the playoffs. You know?
I'm now, because now that we've sold, if we don't make playoffs, which most likely we won't, I'm rooting for Gausman.
Yeah.
I am rooting for, I'll root for fucking Jeff Hoffman. Go get those closes and saves and holds or whatever it might be in the postseason.
It's not a playoff spot just yet, but I guess he's got to get there.
He's got to get there, and maybe in the other AL West opponent, I'm rooting for Dalton Varsho as well over there in Houston. I'm rooting for the boys to go get it done.
Yep, yeah, me as well, man. So no word of a lie told there by Kevin Gausman's daughter. She really just called it exactly how it was. Let's transition and talk about this upcoming series. Must win. They all are from here on out. If you want to make playoffs, you want to hit your 4.2% chance, then magic has to happen, and you have to win every single series.
Yep.
This is going to be a really tough one, folks. It is Philadelphia in Philadelphia. Tonight, the Toronto Blue Jays debut for Jose Soriano. That's going to be really exciting. Adam said he may or may not go live. We'll see what happens.
50-50.
He's like 50-50.
All depends on how I'm feeling.
50-50. So stay tuned. Check in at 6:45 or I guess it would be 6:30 is the time right here. So check in. Maybe you'll see it, maybe you won't. But Soriano on the bump, 3.29 ERA up against Zach Wheeler, who's 10-2. He's been playing very well recently, I think.
Oh, he's just been. I have him on fantasy just to
like I think
the
he's
perfection of consistency.
Yeah. It's really really good. Philly, obviously, better team than we. This is a tough first outing here for Soriano. It's like Soriano on a new team, and who knows if he thought he was going to get traded or not because he got years of control.
He did not think he was going to get traded. No.
So he was just fucking asleep, right?
Yeah, he was asleep. He did not anticipate it at all.
Gets traded to a new team. Now you're on the road against Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I guess everything's on the road for you right now. You've been on the road since you got traded.
That's the thing. There's no home field advantage for him anymore. He doesn't have a fucking home.
Exactly, right? So it's like we're in Philadelphia against a good Philadelphia Phillies team against Zach Wheeler.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna get the Soriano start that we all hoped for.
No, I gotta go with the L here. You got the literally epitome of consistency and elite in Wheeler in the last 5 years. Like this guy just does it every year when healthy. He's gonna be fine. And yeah, you're in Phillies. And honestly too, I'm not saying that one thing obviously means the other is gonna happen, but you've been seeing guys that get traded actually after the deadline make their debuts with their team starting pitchers, and they kind of get fucked up. And I could imagine, not again saying one is obviously going to be the other, but like you are I got to figure out my home. Where's my wife and kid going to be? Where's this? And
look at what happened last year with right now. The best closer we've seen in decades in Toronto. Louis Varland was having a great season in Minnesota. Came into Toronto. The first month that he was here, he was ass.
He was ass.
He was ass
because he did not expect to get traded.
Exactly. He wasn't expecting it. It's like, oh God, my whole world's been turned upside down. I don't know who these guys are. I've never met these guys before. I've never lived in the country of Canada. Now I'm here. They got weird money, like all this shit. Same thing's gonna happen with Jose Soriano. It also has just so happens that he's up against a good team, a good lineup. In their ballpark, up against a really good pitcher. I would be stunned if we win this game.
Yeah, and we're not the favorites, so we're both saying L right here. That is definitely obvious. Guys, let us know in the chat. What do you think about that? What do you think? Who's winning tonight? And again, tune in around I guess 6 o'clock. I'll be on. I'll be on Flight Deck tonight. So if you go check out Blue Jays Nation. 5:30, I believe we're gonna go live. So I'll tell you if I'm doing the live there. So check into Blue Jays Nation.
That Blue Jays Nation flight there.
You'll get the answer, or I'll probably have the stream already loaded up, ready to go. But yeah, check it out there. But before we continue to break down this series even more, let's give a shout out to our friends at Sports Interaction Sportsbook and Casino. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction, Canada's homegrown sportsbook. We have a couple bets for tonight's game. I've got Kirk over 1 total base. Literally just 1 hit is all it takes, and it's 1.57. He's hot as holy hell. It doesn't matter who's on the bump. Give me Kirk for a base hit in this one. He's on fire.
Yeah, I got Soriano having a good one, under 2.5 runs. Do I believe in it? Honestly, not really, but I'm just betting because I want it. I do want it to happen, and that's that's honestly a terrible tendency with sports betting. You definitely shouldn't do that.
I know.
Because you bet with your heart, and oftentimes your heart is just not as smart as your brain. It's not as smart as your brain, even though you wished that it was. But shout out once again to Sports Interaction, Sportsbook and Casino. They got you covered with pitch-by-pitch live betting and easy deposits and payouts. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction. Go to sportsinteraction.com/BJN to open an account. Ontario or Alberta only. Must be 19 plus in Ontario, 18 plus in Alberta. Please play responsibly. Let's get to game number 2. We're both saying loss in game number 1. So I'm at 66 wins, I think it is, or 66 predicted correct things.
I'm at 62. We had a bad week, so with the 4 games we only got 1 of 3 right. We predicted the same thing every time, so we kind of
really
we had a bad week there. It was a weird one. It was just a weird week.
Well, we were winning ones that we should lose and losing ones that we should win.
We said deadline on Monday we lose because we're feeling sad, but we won it. Next game we win because we have a good pitcher. We lost, and then the following game we switch it up because it's going to be not Dylan Cease, it's going to be Tyone. We're going to lose. We won, and then we thought we were going to win with Cease. We lost. It was a weird
roller coaster. What's going to happen on Saturday though? Max Scherzer on the bump against Aaron Nola. I don't want to be rude, but like too washed.
I think we can Yeah, Nola's had 2 bad years now. We're getting washed.
Yeah, like, I know Nola. I didn't want to be rude to Max Scherzer.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
I know that Aaron Nola's washed.
Yeah.
Man. Max Scherzer is also just having a terrible, terrible season. So genuinely,
I don't even
who
know.
knows? This is where I have to give it to the team that's better, and the team that's better is the Philadelphia Phillies at home. And I think that their lineup is going to be capable of doing more against Max Scherzer than our lineup is going to be capable of doing to Aaron Nola. So we are going to lose.
Gross. I almost want to say win because here's my thinking. If Scherzer can survive, like he's going to be out by like the 4th inning. If he can just get to that point and not give up a lot of damage, which he did that. That's literally his last start. He did that. Then I actually trust this bullpen way more. So I'm gonna go a sneaky random win. Scherzer's facing Philly. He loves the competition. He gives us 3 1/3. He gets into trouble, and then we bring in someone who shuts it down. Maybe Spencer Miles. And somehow Nola gifts us a few and we win. That's where I'll go with that. I'll say win. I'll say win on that Saturday.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Victor in here saying the last time Scherzer pitched versus the Phillies, I'm pretty sure he got like 0 whiffs. So that's
true.
That's interesting.
He doesn't get any fucking whiffs anymore.
Yeah.
Like.
I think my prediction is sound. I like it. We lose the first 2. Who is pitching for us on game 3?
It might be Shane Bieber. Now, that's because we had the injury to Yesavage. It might be Shane Bieber. That would be the next guy in line. Mm-hmm. So Shane Bieber versus Luzardo, who is pretty good.
Wow. So I'm saying this is where the season ends.
Yeah. I mean, even me, I'm going to predict a loss right here. I'm predicting a loss.
Oh, yeah, Logan, this is where the season ends, eh?
Yeah, like
shit. It ends in Citizens Bank in Philadelphia.
Even if we get 1 win, like the season's over. Like you need to win the series. So, yeah, like this is a loss.
I don't think we're getting 1 win. Wow. Damn, dude. Season ending on what would that be? That'd be like August 10th? August 9th. August
9th. Season's over.
August 9th, season over. Shit, that's the official the date of death is what I got right there. Damn it, man.
You're predicting You're predicting that we would fall to 54 and 65. So that would be 11 games below. Yeah, it's over now.
That's over. That's over now.
Wow. We got a dono. Yeah, I know it sucks. Even mine, I don't know what would be better. I'd rather have yours, honestly, just because it's like, well, just kill us now.
Oh,
because if we win 1, now I'm like moving the goalposts again. Now we gotta sweep this fucking team, like, and get us back.
Well, again, like I guess the under 500 doesn't really matter that much. It's really just how many games will be back in the wild card. And I mean, if we get swept, right now I think we're 3.5 games back in the wild card. Let me just double check.
Yeah, I think we are.
Because I don't think Texas played yesterday, so we are. Currently, 3.5. If we get swept, you have to imagine that we'd be closer to like 6 games back-ish, something like that.
All depends on, Texas.
Again, it all depends. Yeah, Texas Twins. But Texas Twins and Guard, I feel like if you get swept, you'd have a pretty good chance of being like around the 6 games, 5.5 minimum type thing, back 6 games maybe. And then if you lose 1 or if you win 1, maybe closer to like 5 games back.
Right.
I mean, they're both really not very good. Like, it's both very, very bad.
No, it's not very good. And number 1 Varsho hater in here with has been a member for 2 months. Shout out to you saying Vladdy needs to go train with the monks. Honestly, like, get some mindfulness, bro.
Isn't that what? I think that's what Victor Wembanyama did. He spent like he went and trained with the monks for like a while, and he did like all this like it was like rigorous like monk training, and it was just like in the off season and got a lead, and then he went to the NBA finals, right, in his like 2nd year as a pro, 3rd year as a pro. I'm not a big NBA guy, but like this is just what I hear,
bro. I think that's a great idea, because I mean even some of the comments he makes, I'm like, you're kind of like, I think there's a little hint of like you think you're bigger than what the situation is. You're bigger than this, and it's like. No. I think if you go train with some monks, you can really ground yourself, find peace in what's happening, and accept everything. Well, like it's almost like he doesn't want to accept that he's bad.
Yeah, I get it. I do get it.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just speaking on my ass.
Well, listen, I think back to the good old days when the Green Bay Packers drafted Jordan Love, and then Aaron Rodgers went into the jungle, took ayahuasca. Had to refine himself, and then went on to have two of the single greatest quarterback seasons that I've ever seen, and won back-to-back MVPs at like age 40.
So Vladdy, either go with the monks or go in the jungle and take some ayahuasca.
Like we gotta like recenter ourselves.
That's what. No more going in the cages. That's old school thinking. We need to change everything up here.
Like we gotta
rewire it.
Yeah, like we literally gotta tear it all down. And then start at the base again, Bro,
can you imagine that? Like Ross Atkins, like he calls Vladdy in the office, slides him a pamphlet. It's like a trip to Mexico, and it's like, what was his resort? No, you're going in the jungles, going to get some ayahuasca.
Yeah. And then right after that, you're getting a darkness retreat for a week.
Darkness retreat. Yeah,
you're just gonna sit in the dark, man, and meditate like the monks do.
Yeah, that's what it's gotta be, man. Guys, before we get to your questions, because it is the Friday show, so we know we get to your questions. Let's give a shout out to our friends at Table Fair and Social, everybody. Table Fair and Social. This upcoming week, they're coming back to Toronto, and if you are going to a game in the middle of the week, which, by the way, actually, I'm going to a game next Thursday, so I might go check out Table Fair and Social if I'm going to a game, because they got great eats. It's right by the GO train station if you're commuting from out of town. Also a great place to park as well. They have a ground floor where you can go and park your car. And yeah, honestly, great. We're going to be doing some content there too. I'm excited because we're going to eat a lot of their food. And it's honestly quality food that doesn't make you feel stuffed up. So you can eat it, feel great, walk to the ballpark, and enjoy the game.
Get a couple bevies too.
Get a couple bevies, bro.
They got a nice looking bar there and like cool. Like, I just want to go hang out. They got pool tables.
Yeah.
Got some, a section of board games. There's just a bunch of cool shit, man. So, like, definitely go check it out. We'll have some fun videos coming out from there soon. Vladdy Hater again in here with a $2 donation. Honestly, the whole team needs to go to the monks.
Team ayahuasca trip.
Well, I was saying, like, because there was that whole conversation. The team's not as closely knit as we were before, right? Like, let's all start at the we're not him anymore. We thought we were him after the World Series. Like, we got to tear all that shit down. You guys, that's the thing. You have all the talent in the world, but there's all these blocks, and you're the ones blocking themselves. Like, why is it? Like, genuinely, why is it that the second that a runner gets in scoring position, we bat below the Mendoza line? I'm exaggerating, but I'm not exaggerating that much. Like, it's literally not that much of an exaggeration. It's like we get 11 hits in a game, we can't fucking hit whenever anyone's on second base.
And I straight up believe it's because either A, they thought they were too good for themselves and they're bigger than the moment, or B, they thought they needed to do so much more than what they already were, which was a good player. And now you're trying too hard, or now you're trying less. It's like you're not balanced. You know what can balance you? Some monks and ayahuasca.
That's it. Yeah, I know that there is a good player in Vladdy somewhere.
Yeah,
it's like you gotta like
peel back the shit.
We gotta get like Leonardo DiCaprio on this shit and Inception this guy and like get in there and like figure out like where is the safe vault with the good baseball player in it. We gotta unlock that shit,
bro, man. Yeah. Oh, dude, we can go down this rabbit hole all day. But let's give a shout out to two more donos in here. Nathaniel Reisenberg with a $10 dono, just saying thank you, Nathaniel Reisenberg, for the $10 donation. We do appreciate it. And then King Louis yet again saying the Jays have murderers road the next 2 weeks. Oh, sorry, Murderers Row. Yeah, it's it goes Phillies, it goes Boston, it goes Yankees, it goes Rays, it goes Yankees. So GG's, everyone.
Yeah, so effectively, like, and after that, we were looking at it. After that, the ending of the season is actually really easy as far as MLB schedules go. It's about as easy as you can get. It's like a lot of like Royals and like just a bunch of like a handful of teams that are not playoff teams that are under 500. So if they can survive, and when I say survive, I actually mean go over 500.
Yeah.
In the next stretch, not crazy over 500, but like let's like they go like 9-8 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like if they could do that, then you may have left yourself a chance, depending on what the other American League teams are doing in that time, to potentially go on a run. But if they get smoked, like I think, like if they get swept by the Phillies type thing,
now you need to sweep one of those fucking teams.
Well, you'd have
At
to,
least.
yeah, like you're going like in the ending. I don't know how many games it would be, but like you're going like 25-5, to finish the season type thing, and that's just obviously. I know they're not bad teams, but that's not going to happen. We're not going to go 25-5.
Yeah, not very good, guys. Not very good. We got a question here from Ben. Here's a fun one. We've probably asked this before, but frig it. Let's do it again. How many homers do you think Vladimir Guerrero Jr. will have by the end of the year? Let's do a prediction. He's at 6. Last one he hit was a month ago.
How many games do we got left now? Like 47, 48?
Something like that.
We are at 54 plus 62. That's 116 games. So that means 46 games left? Is that what that means? I think
something like that. I'm going to say 1. Things aren't getting better. I'm going to say 1.
So I'll have 7 total?
I'll have 7.
7 total.
Does he get 2? That seems like too much. I'm going to say 1.
Well, I'm also wondering as well, like, what if the playoff odds actually fall to 0, then I am wondering if he just gets on the IL at that point.
Right.
Like, and even if he's not injured, but they're like, okay, like now we can take him away from this all and, kind of protect our investment for next year. Because that's what it boils down to at this point. So I think the smart bet at this point, I don't even know if any sports books would have this out, but I mean, I think that the money now is at under 10.
Yeah,
certainly,
for sure.
Right? It's
I don't
like,
think he's in double digits.
Well, this thing, he need to hit 4.
He hasn't done that.
Well, after the All-Star break, chat, after the All-Star break, and again, I'm going to have a video coming out more about this where I'm really diving deep on Vladdy, but after the All-Star break, he started in 17 games. And he didn't have a single home run, and he had 3 RBIs.
That's terrible.
Genuinely terrible. That is a bench. Like that's worse than a bench bat. That's that's horrible.
Literally, Vlad's whole everything is. It's like a Nathan Lucas. And again, for Nathan Lucas' standard, Lucas is kind of cooling off right now. So like him, even Lucas is struggling. So and he's the same line as fucking Nathan Lucas at this point. I would say 1. What would you do? Would you say 1?
I'll give him. I'll say that.
And it's on the road too. It's on a home.
Yeah, I'm between 8 or 9. I mean, I think he's gonna kind of just fumble himself into it because I think he's fumbled himself into the 6 that he's had. So like it's not like he's been dialed. It's just like a broken clock is right twice a day type thing, and like he did catch it. So I'll say that he catches 3. I'll say that he finishes with 9.
That'd be good. That'd be good.
Yeah,
finish
9 home runs.
For what he's doing. It'd be a good finish. We have another question here from Turkawo. Saying, do you think the Red Sox beat the Dodgers this year, or is this the streak bound to run out of steam? Thanks for the show. Thank you, Turkawo. That's assuming, of course, they go to the World Series. And honestly, at this point, Red Sox are the favorites in my opinion in the AL. I've always said the hottest team. I mean, anyone would say this. The hottest team going into the postseason has the best chance.
Let me pull up. I kind of want to see what their schedule, like what their record by month is. It's gonna make us all very, very jealous. And so I saw Barstool Sports has like one guy. He basically does what we do, but for the Red Sox. A bit of a bigger guy. You might have seen his face.
I've seen him. Yeah.
I forget what his name is. But he was live reacting to the game yesterday. And just probably everyone's saying it's the most electric regular season game of the season.
Yeah,
like really crazy win. The elation that guy was having, like when the Red Sox won, it really did remind me a lot of the Magic that we were on. And he was just like we can't, like he's like we're never gonna lose again. Like it's like we just keep winning.
Yeah,
everything was just the one day that our pitching falls off, we drop 12.
Yep.
And it's like we're just we're doing it. You should find that clip. You should watch that clip. It honestly, like I was even though they're division rivals, I was happy for him because I know what that feels like. And I was like, that felt really, really good.
Look at all that green stretch. So we're looking at Baseball Reference. If you guys aren't familiar, they have like a bar graph. And the green means that somebody runs you one by. Red means that somebody runs you lost by. Basically, the last 2 months has been like green.
Well, so here's listen to this, right? So they go 1-4 to start the season. Then they go 11-15. Mm-hmm. Then they go 13-14 and 12-14. And it's like, okay, this is what we are. Like that, we are this like slightly below 500 squad. Like this is it. We're cooked. And July comes around and they go 21-4.
Unbelievable.
And they haven't lost yet in August. They're 5-0 here. So their last, what is that? 26-4.
That's unbelievable. Since the beginning of July.
Since the beginning of July.
Yeah. Well, what happened in the beginning of July? Canada Day. What happened last year at the beginning of July for us? We went on a run.
Like that's the apparently that's the unofficial like beginning. You know.
Yeah, like the bats have gone through spring and winter, and now they're into summer, and they're heating up.
And it's like bang, Canada Day rolls around. Like this is where. So now we know, chat. Like if next year this team's kind of flirting around 500. And then when Canada Day comes around, if we don't turn it on, we know that this is what we are. But that's like the official, like, okay, like this is our second beginning of the season. The Red Sox have taken it by storm. They are the best team in baseball right this second. And honestly,
beat the Dodgers?
Well, okay,
they have already beat them.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna say I think that the Boston Red Sox might do quite literally exactly what we did last year.
Where it's like, how the fuck are they doing it? I don't know.
And they go all the way to the World Series, and then they run into LA, but then the deep and powerful and perfectly constructed roster of LA is just enough.
Yeah, and they're struggling too.
Is just enough to hold off the surging Boston Red Sox. And Boston will find a way to play the better series and still lose.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you on that, man. So to answer your question, no, they will not beat the Dodgers. Six Shocker Vibe says, thanks, boys. Time for PTSD group, non-Jays related. I mean, in the offseason, I'm sure we're going to have a lot of that. So stay tuned, man. Thank you. And we have one more question in here coming in from Connor, also known as Vladdy Hater. So there you go, Connor, saying, if the Mets genuinely tell Bo to kick rocks, would you guys want him back? Hey, or he may not be as good, but it would be good for the vibes of the boys. If the Mets told Bo to kick rocks, so does that mean, like, are they cutting him? Are they trading him? Well, obviously can't trade him at this point. Like, what would that look like?
That's the thing. I think
because that's what would determine my answer.
I think Bo would just say no. I'll kick rocks if you want, but you got to pay me $42 million to kick those rocks.
That's the thing too, and I learned through OOTP out of the park baseball. When you cut someone, because I had to cut Jose Barrios, you have to eat that contract, and whatever team picks him up gets him for free.
Yeah,
gets him for free. So if that's the case, like, fuck yeah, let's take Bo back. But if it's like a trade and you have to eat his contract, I'm thinking no. And now I think we've set our limit. If it's like they're going to eat half of the contract, okay. Because I always thought Bo was like a $20 million player anyways. So, okay, I'll do that, sure. But then the other question you have to ask yourself is, where does he play on the field? Because now he's a third baseman, and, well, okay, maybe move back to short. Does Jimenez go second? Where's Ernie play? Well, now you got Kazuma Okamoto. So, a little bit of a log jam. If you can get rid of Andres Jimenez there, then sure. Because you're right. If Bo came back and Vlad and him are bros, sure, the vibes would be great. It's just right now we've kind of built our roster without him, so it kind of creates a lot of difficulties.
Yeah, I tend to kind of agree here with Drew Gamer. Like he said, can people stop with Bo questions, because it's never happening.
It's never happening.
And I do think that we've kind of exhausted the Bo conversation now. It would be so fun to see him come back to this team. But if he does come back to this team, then I think it's going to be in like 8 years from now.
Yeah.
And it's just like a completely, like it's like, oh, he's now on his like third stint of free agency, and he's still got a little bit.
He can hit, but he can't.
And we're gonna, we're gonna bring him here because like we know that we can work with this guy and whatever. But ultimately, the Bo era is over.
Maybe he becomes a permanent DH.
That would be interesting.
I mean, technically George is going to be gone, so there you go. But, guys, that is the Blue Jays Today show. I hope you guys enjoyed our commentary and coverage. Again, tune in a little bit later. I'll probably make a community post whether I am or not going live later tonight. honestly, all depends on how I'm feeling because it has been a long week for the boys covering the trade deadline and whatnot. So, yeah, stay tuned. And also make sure to hit that like button. Smash that subscribe button, folks, because we're going to be going live and doing a lot more coverage later on. And then Nick's also got a video coming out tomorrow. So lots of good stuff on the way, folks.
Yeah, $5 a month to become a YouTube member. Shout out and thank you to all of our current YouTube members, everybody that's donated, liked, subscribed. Been a crazy awesome week, too, by the way, for the Blue Jays Today boys. Like, the reception and the, I guess, the support that we received after the trade deadline stream. Like, that was really, really cool. A lot of people were commenting, saying, like, hey, they tuned in and loved the coverage. And then honestly in the live streams, like I know that this team is not what we hoped for, but like there's been so many of you that are still watching with us, and just know we'll be here until the final out of this season and for the first out of next season as well, and the whole off season, however long it may be, we'll be here as well. So shout out to all of you. We appreciate all of you, and as always,
go Jays go.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. We'll be live at noon on Mondays and Fridays for more Blue Jays Today shows.